Good morning. Welcome to our healing service. I'm Reverend Drea, and myself, along with Reverend Sharon, will take you through an experience of healing today. The month of October, the key is be a conduit of healing. Breaking barriers is more than just personal growth. It's about becoming a conduit of healing for yourself and the world. By breaking your barriers, you help to break barriers for others, spreading love and light beyond yourself. It starts with loving yourself, being kind to yourself, taking care of yourself. From this foundation, you will radiate healing energy and light into the world, intentionally sending love, prayers, and blessings to yourself, others, and the planet. Every act of kindness and compassion contributes to a better world. Throughout this month, commit to being a conduit of healing energy, sending positive intentions wherever you go. Whether you're watching the news, passing someone in need, or encountering challenging situations, send healing energy to those hospitals, nursing homes, schools, and to your neighbors, families, and friends. Be a conduit, not only blessing others, but it also enriches your life. So in this experience today, we're going to take you through some things that will help you to allow yourself to be a fuller expression of spirit, allow yourself to be a fuller expression of healing, allow yourself to first be healed so that then you can support and heal others. So in order to do that, there's a few things we need to do. And first, we need to acknowledge some things. We're going to acknowledge all that we have done and been through and experienced this year in this Breaking Barrier program. We have seen so much growth and expansion in each and every one of you. We have seen you all break through some barriers. We have seen you all do the work that you needed to do. And so we want to acknowledge that with a moment of gratitude. So please place your hand on your heart and your other hand on your solar plexus. And lean into this space of gratitude and thankfulness. Gently close your eyes as we acknowledge the work you have already done. Acknowledge how you have grown and what you have already released. The work you have put in to improve your life, yourself, and your circumstances. Acknowledge and be grateful for all of those things. Acknowledge where you were and who you were at the beginning of this year and who you are and where you are now. We are grateful for broken barriers and dismantled obstacles. We are thankful for a renewed spirit. We are grateful for alignment with truth. We are thankful for a new life. We are grateful for breath. We are thankful for freedom. Are grateful for all that we have. We are grateful for the knowledge of who we are. We are thankful that we have grown. We are grateful that we are no longer bound by limiting beliefs. We are thankful and grateful for who we are. We are grateful for this room. We are grateful for every soul in here. We are grateful for the works that we have done. We are grateful for all we have chosen to release and let go. We are thankful that we are in this room right here, right now, experiencing the truth of who we are. We are grateful and thankful for the knowledge of life and wisdom that we have. We are grateful for truth. We are grateful for alignment. We are grateful for our connection. We are grateful for our oneness with all that there is. We are grateful for our abundance. We are thankful and grateful for the prosperity that we're constantly connected to. We are thankful and grateful for who we are in this space right now. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Let's feel that for a moment. Let's just sit in that, this space of gratitude and thankfulness for the knowingness, for the love, joy, and compassion that we are feeling right now, not only for ourselves, but for everyone in this room, for every life we touch, for every person we see, for every person we drive by, for everything we know. Let's take a deep breath in and release. Let's take another deep breath in and release. Let us take one more big deep breath in and release. Now, in this time of acknowledgement, we must also be aware that there is still an opportunity for growth. Can you recognize and acknowledge that there are still some barriers that you have not revealed or were not ready to deal with? Do you understand that our healing never ends and that there's always more layers upon layers upon layers to be revealed? I want you to keep one hand on your heart. Can you feel it in your heart and in your body, the truth of this statement? Can you agree that there is more work to be done? If so, nod your head in agreement. Recognize the truth and be open to what's coming next. You may now place your hands in your lap. We asked you this question at the beginning of our moment of gratitude, and we're asking it again here. At this time of reflection, introspection, and healing, where were you in your life, and who were you at the beginning of this year? And who and where are you now? In your growth and understanding of who you are and where you are in consciousness, what barriers do you need to break now? That you need to break through and pierce through? Where are you now in your healing journey? Now, have you broken through some barriers only to find new ones emerging or becoming visible? Did you think you had broken through a barrier only to realize that you only pierced it? Where are you now with this work? What are those barriers or walls you have not broken through? What areas of your life are calling for healing or release? What I want you to do now is to allow the song that we're about to play and this time of stillness to open your spirit, mind, and body to some self-reflection and introspection. Let's bring those walls and barriers that are still left to be healed to mind so that we can work with them.
So now you are asking Spirit to talk to you, speak to your heart, and to reveal to you why have you covered up or bound yourself up, and exactly what are you covering up? Because you're covering something up, and we want to get to the root of it. So let's look at this question of why, so that we can reveal what's going on. Because sometimes we mask, we hide, we cover, or we refuse to acknowledge the existence of a barrier or a place within us that needs to be healed. Those are the barriers that we are unable to acknowledge, and we can't break through them or heal them until we can stop denying that they exist within us. So what we need to understand is, what are we covering up, and why are we refusing to look at it, despite the pain and the suffering that it's causing in our lives? The barriers that you were unable or unwilling to break through represent where you became stuck on your healing journey. But they also represent areas where you have energetic leaks. When you try to stop those energetic leaks by applying bandages or band-aids, you are not stopping the leak itself. You are merely applying a temporary solution and avoiding the deeper work that's needed in order for you to get your true healing. So we're going to first look metaphysically at this idea of what it means to put on a band-aid and to bind your barriers. Then we're going to look at why you're binding or covering your barrier. And lastly, and more importantly, you are going to reveal what are the barriers that you haven't broken through yet. Those barriers that you've covered up and have yet to acknowledge and reveal. So let's talk about some band-aids. Okay, band-aids. Band-aids offer a quick, temporary fix for deeper problems. When they're left on too long, the underlying issue often worsens, and we respond by piling on even more bandages. We put a band-aid on top of a band-aid on top of a band-aid, and sometimes we wrap it up. Now let me give you some real-life examples. Maybe you're using credit cards to solve financial problems caused by your inability to establish and follow a realistic budget. Or maybe you are avoiding difficult conversations, and instead of running and hiding, you just don't deal with it at all. You just run and hide. You don't have that conversation. You run, you hide, you don't pick the phone up, you avoid people, you don't go places where you know they are because you don't want to have those difficult conversations. See, we put band-aids on a cut or a burn, but sometimes we have to let it breathe. We have to let that wound breathe. Sometimes when stuff is covered up, it's not always healing underneath, because we think our stuff is healed, but the real healing hasn't taken place because we've only covered it up. We can't see it. We're masking it. But when we allow these problems to breathe and to come into the light, the healing process can often be quicker and it can be easier. But oftentimes what seems like a major issue, it turns out to be a scratch. It's nothing really wounded. It's not really hurting you, but you put a band-aid on it anyway. Because we avoid dealing with it, we place a band-aid or a bandage on it to cover it up instead of looking at the issue and facing it head on. We use the band-aid or the bandage so our stuff isn't seen. We don't want to see it, and we certainly don't want anybody else to see it. We deny, we avoid, we mask. This is all working against our healing. Because in truth, it's not recognizing that there's something to be healed. So sometimes you don't even need a band-aid in the first place. And that is the band-aid of not wanting to do the deeper work, the work of self-examination, self-exploration. It's choosing instead to repress and to suppress our stuff. And make no doubt about it, your stuff is there. You really can't run from it. You can't cover it up. Sometimes we'll even place a Band-Aid or a bandage on our wound without sanitizing the area first. This means that the area under the Band-Aid or the bandage may not ever heal, but it'll instead fester. It'll become infected and inflamed. It'll spread to a larger area, and eventually it will cause more damage, more pain, and more suffering. But then there are also times where we're desperately trying to keep that Band-Aid on so that it doesn't slide off, it doesn't move around, it doesn't come off. We try to keep it on despite the fact that we have to live and we have to move and we have to do things, and there's things that we need to do. But we keep struggling with that Band-Aid, trying to keep it from slipping off. We cling to the Band-Aid, believing that we need that Band-Aid. We can't do without that Band-Aid. But our wound won't heal. Maybe we need to look at the Band-Aid and see that maybe we can change it to a different Band-Aid. Maybe the size that we have is the wrong size. Maybe if we took the Band-Aid off, we'd see that some of our wound is healed and maybe we don't need a Band-Aid at all. Maybe we chose the wrong Band-Aid from the start. Bandages, and that's that wrapping, not the Band-Aid, but the wrapping that we put on. That often signifies deeper underlying issues. They can symbolize the desire to conceal or mask our true self, which is a common part of the journey towards self-discovery and authenticity. Just like physical wounds need time and care to heal, so too do your emotional and spiritual wounds. Bandages may represent the temporary measures that we use to protect ourselves while we heal, whether from past trauma or inner conflict. It is in this sense that emotional bandages are psychological defense mechanisms, helping us to cope with life's challenges. However, relying on these bandages for too long can prevent genuine healing. True growth requires us to confront and tend to our deeper wounds and not just cover them up. So what barriers and walls have you placed a Band-Aid or bound up yourself with? What are the barriers and the walls that have been keeping you from healing and not allowing you to breathe, to grow, and to heal, and to be whole? When you get rid of our Band-Aids and our bandages, we are breaking through our barriers, removing obstacles, and creating space for growth, enlightenment, and transformation. This act of breaking through signifies courage, determination, and resilience in the face of adversity, encouraging us to confront our fears and challenges head on. It also signifies liberation from old patterns and beliefs that have kept you stagnant, and it frees you so that you can expand your journey of spiritual growth and development. So now we come to the part where you must do the work of acknowledging and revealing those barriers that you've covered up. So I want to take you through an experience that is going to help you to expose what you have been covering up. You're going to see where it's open and festering and stinking inside of you, and see where you've placed those Band-Aids and bandages in your life to cover your wounds and your pain. And as I walk you through this experience, I want you to use the Band-Aids and bandages that are under your seat in a bag. So pull that bag out from under your seat. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to ask you to do with it. Inside that bag, you have some Band-Aids and you have some bandages. And what you're going to do is as I'm going to read some sentences to you, you're going to take those Band-Aids and you're going to place them on your body. Or you're going to wrap that gauze around your body. Whenever you hear or you feel something that resonates with you that I've said, When it's something that I said that's familiar to you, that evokes a particular response in you, or when I step on your toes. I want you to be open and honest with what you're feeling and to place as many Band-Aids on yourself as necessary. And if you've already heard something, put a Band-Aid on yourself just for GP. And if you run out of bandages in that bag, put your hand up and we'll gladly give you some more. Because we got plenty Band-Aids. Because you got plenty stuff that you've been covering up. So remember, in some cases, you may need to use a bandage and not a Band-Aid to signify that deeper underlying issues that you have not yet broken through. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to just be open and honest and willing to feel the truth of the wounds that you've been covering up, because they're already there inside of you. I want you to see them now as a physical manifestation on the outside, where you can look at them, where you can see them, where they're visible, where you're not hiding, covering, or masking. But here's something else for you to chew on, where everybody else can see your stuff too. And sometimes I think that's probably the hardest, is that we don't want anybody else to see our stuff. It's not just that we don't want to see it. We don't want anybody else to see it. So this is where you're going to reveal what you are covering up with those Band-Aids and those bindings. Any questions before we start? All right. So I'm going to ask you some questions that may represent the pain, the trauma, the hurts, the wounds, and the barriers that you've covered up, that you haven't recognized or haven't dealt with. Just open up your heart space. Listen, take in, and feel what I'm asking you. Place a Band-Aid on yourself if it resonates with you in any way. Wrap a Band-Aid around a part of your body if you have continually covered it up with Band-Aids. And that means that it's a repeating pattern. You keep doing the same thing over and over. You keep having the same experience over and over. You keep running into the same people over and over. That's a deeper wound. Or put a Band-Aid on it if you have continued to deny the existence of your wound, your pain, or your trauma, or your barrier. So place as many Band-Aids or bandages on your body for all the things that I say that resonate or hit you in the gut. Take a deep breath. All right. And I'm going to take my time and be here a while with this. Are you holding on to, or are you feeling grief? Any kind of grief. Put a Band-Aid on if it relates to you. And that's grief, that's loss. Is there some terrible unspoken trauma that you have held on to or are still holding on to? Put your Band-Aid on. Have you been holding on to grudges, hurt feelings, and unforgiveness? Do you feel like a fraud? Do you feel unworthy of having something good happen to you? Unworthy of having good things or good people show up in your life. Do you have low self-esteem? Are you feeling like a screw up? Like everything that you do, it just doesn't seem to be right. You can't do nothing right. You mess everything up all the time. You just can't get it together. You feel like everything that you do is just going to hell in a handbasket. And it's going quick, too. No matter what you do. It's out of your control. Are you dealing with feelings of rejection and feel like no one cares? Nobody cares what you're going through. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your life. Nobody cares. Are you feeling like a failure? Are you ignored, ashamed, or overcome with guilt and fear? Is loneliness your best friend? You know what it feels like to be lonely. Not just lonely, but alone. There's nobody there. It's just you. You don't have any support. Has your ego, judgment, and criticism wrecked any of your relationships or the way that you feel about yourself? That ego is always getting in the way. You don't know how to stop it. You don't know how to stop judging others and criticizing everybody and everything. People have walked away because of your mouth. Do you feel unloved and unable to show and give love? Are you feeling unwanted, feeling unsafe in your relationships, abandoned, low down and depressed like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and nobody understands? Are you experiencing physical, mental, or emotional pain? Your body hurting, and it just won't stop hurting. Your mind is just reeling with thoughts, and it's painful and you can't stop it. You feel like you're losing your mind. Are there areas in your life where you feel that you have no control over what is happening to you? Are you a runner Do you run and hide? You hide from truth. You hide from yourself. You hide from others. You hide from your circumstances and situations. Are you boiling over with rage and anger at everybody and everything? Because it wasn't supposed to be this way. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. It was supposed to be different. It's supposed to look different. It's supposed to happen differently. And it's making you angry because you can't do nothing about it. Are you dragged down by depression and hopelessness and feeling as if you just want to disappear? You just want the world to stop so you can get off. You want to deal with this no more. You don't want to deal with nobody no more. You don't have had enough of this. Is life weighing you down? It's too much. It's just too much. There's some days where you just don't want no more. You can't take no more. Have you held your tongue, oppressed your feelings, or compromised your values? Have you been overly dependent on somebody else to give you validity, to make you feel worthy, to make you feel valued, or make you feel seen? Do you think that you don't need anyone and you can only rely, trust, and depend on yourself? Because people ain't trustworthy. You know they ain't going to do what they say they're going to do. They're not going to show up and be there for you. Can't depend on them. Do you get irritable at the drop of a hat? Everything irritates you. Slow car in front of you. The kid screaming on the airplane. It's all getting on your last nerve. Why can't everybody just shut up and behave and be quiet? Are you tearing down somebody else to build yourself up? That can be consciously or unconscious. You find it hard to trust others? Can you trust yourself? Do you lie and deceive others, or lie and deceive yourself? It's a lie of omission. It's not a real lie. I just said that so I would spare their feelings. They can't handle the truth. So it's not a lie. Are you unable to see yourself or your situation differently? Or are you a control freak and you need to control people, things, and situations? Because I'm the only one that can get it right. I got to watch what everybody's doing. Because I know they're going to mess up somehow, and I got my list, and I got everything laid out just right. They're going to need me. That's why I'm there. It's not about control. It's about doing things right, because I am a perfectionist. Are you impulsive? And you don't think before you do stuff. Or sometimes you make decisions without the facts, without logic, or without reason, much less truth. You just do it because that's what came to your mind. Are you unable to relate to others? Do you feel misunderstood? And you have a distorted perception about life? Are you unable to get out of your head and to get in the present moment? You live in the past, your glory days, when things were better, when people did things better, when people were different, when you used to be thin. Is your life disorganized, out of control, and off kilter? Are you so wrapped up and out of touch with life that you behave reckless and irresponsibly? You know what I'm talking about. You in them clubs where you don't need to be in there, smoking. I ain't talking about cigarettes. Doing what you think that you know, this is what I feel like. No consequences for my behavior. This is what I feel like doing right now. But you know you got to get up that next morning and go to work. So now you got a hangover. Are you a pack rat or a hoarder? Nobody's been in your house. They can't get in the door. You can barely get in the door. And you're ashamed to let anybody know what's behind that door. Are you a people pleaser? Do you feel like you're never going to have enough money, enough time, or enough energy? It goes so quickly. There's never enough time, never enough money. I don't have the energy to do all of that. Do you play the blame game? And are you a master at it? Because it ain't you, it's everybody else. Are you a procrastinator? Constantly moving from one crisis to another. Do you eat away your feelings or eat to avoid feeling? Do you refuse to deal with your financial situation? You hide the bills when they come in. You don't open them. You avoid the debt collection calls. But you continue to spend. When was the last time you took a breath, felt relaxed and at peace without having any guilt attached to it? Is it difficult, or do you feel like you don't have the right to stand up and speak up for yourself? Does drama follow you everywhere you go? And have you been crowned the drama king or the drama queen? Do you go off on others? You have a short fuse, or you're easily triggered? Or do you have knee-jerk reactions to situations and circumstances, always reacting instead of responding? Do you lack clarity and focus and allow your negative beliefs and perceptions to run your life and to get the best of you? Are you rigid in your thoughts and beliefs like they're cast in stone? It's my way or the highway. What I believe is the truth. You feel like you have to get others before they get you. Because you know they're coming for you, so you might as well go on and get them first. Have you gotten comfortable being uncomfortable, living out of alignment, but not doing anything any differently? Are you addicted to shopping to make yourself feel better and to soothe your emotions? Are you walking around numb and disconnected? Do you go along to get along? Are you putting the needs of someone else first, always being a caretaker and never practicing self-care? Are you resistant to change? And are you as stubborn as a mule? Do you allow distractions to keep you unfocused? Do you experience a lack of intimacy and inability to be intimate with others and yourself? Are you living with feelings of injustice and being done wrong? Do you put up with toxic people and relationships? Are you afraid to be alone? Do you feel like you can't ask for support, help, or whatever else it is that you need? Have you or do you have thoughts and feelings of self-harm? Do you believe that life is a struggle? Do you lack confidence and belief in yourself? Do you think someone else can make you happy or more successful? Do you believe that you have to work hard because nothing comes easy and no one is going to give you anything? Hard work is the key. Do you not use your common sense, much less your spiritual discernment, your intuition, or your wisdom? Are you pretending and putting on a performance that everything is all right in your life? Are you in denial about something in your life? Do you find it difficult to love yourself because you're so filled with self-blame, self-depreciation, and self-hatred? Do you exhibit passive-aggressive behavior? Have you not made any room in your life for growth or change? Are you defensive? Are you afraid to listen to your own inner voice? Are you always seeking to protect yourself first? Do you respect time, or are you always running late? Are you experiencing sensory overload? Do you give up easily? Are you nosy, a gossip, and always caught up in somebody else's business and their stuff? Are you seeking a love that you don't know how to give yourself? Are you an attention seeker? Do you play yourself small? Do you not take ownership of how you show up in life? Or is it always somebody else's fault? Are you always overcommitting? You know you can't do every daggone thing. You have a victim mentality? Do you abuse substances? Do you feel trapped, restrained, and constrained? Are you promiscuous? Are you afraid of expressing your emotions? Do you feel stupid, ugly, or dirty? Have you been sexually, mentally, emotionally, or physically abused? Do you take care of your body and the things that belong to you? Your clothes, your house, your relationships, your stuff? Are you prideful? Do you feel like there's never enough? Are you carrying and holding secrets? And do some of them not even belong to you? They're somebody else's stuff, family stuff. Have you witnessed and experienced violence? Are you always full of excuses? Do you have feelings of abandonment? And do you feel ungrounded? Are you irresponsible? And are you walking around with feelings of humiliation? Do you feel cut off from others? Are you afraid to try something new or do something different? Has someone betrayed you and you can't get past it? Because you didn't deserve it. You don't know why they did that to you. You gave them everything that you had, but they betrayed you. Are you waiting for someone to show up and save you, and they haven't shown up yet? Do you care too much about what others think? Are you seeking stimulation or the adrenaline high from dangerous and edgy experiences? Or maybe it's all about being out in that social scene, being seen everywhere with everybody. Do you have a struggle mentality? Are you the poster child for imposter syndrome? Do you know who you are? Do you know your purpose and the value that you bring to the world? Are you always talking but you don't take no action? It sounds good, but you haven't done anything to change it. Do you not see therapy as an option? Are you not putting in your spiritual work? Do you take but never give or serve? Because you can only focus and think about what you don't have, what you want, and what you need. And gratitude is simply an afterthought. Can you feel those band-aids and bandages that are on your body? What does it feel like? And was this difficult to do? So I want you to sit now for just a minute or two with these feelings of being bound and having those band-aids all over you, and begin to experience how it feels to be accustomed to having band-aids on you and to be wrapped up, to be bound up, to be wound up, to be binded. Because you're aware that something is on you, covering your skin. What are you feeling? Is it uncomfortable, or does it feel natural? Because the wounds are underneath. They're inflamed, they're festering, and they're unhealed. And those bandages, are they tight and restricting? Can you feel those unhealed feelings and pain of those barriers and those wounds that you haven't healed yet? So I want you to now breathe in deeply and quiet your mind. Calm your heart and settle into your body. Begin to notice the sensations and vibrations and emotions and thoughts and feelings that come up for you. I don't want you to react to them. Just be aware of them. And accept any discomfort that may arise. Be aware of any changes in your body that you feel. Don't run from them. Just be aware that they're there, right on the periphery. And stay present and in your body as you move through this unfolding experience with all its uncertainty and discomfort. Just sit in it without judgment, without an explanation, without engaging. Just be aware, because it's okay.
Are you ready to remove your bandages? Are you ready to release that tightness, all that's on you? Are you ready to break through those barriers and heal your wounds? All right. So the removal of your bandages and band-aids requires, though, courage, openness, vulnerability, willingness, trust, intentionality, and a desire for healing. This is the work that you must do for yourself. We cannot do it for you. And I know we want to rip the band-aid off and the bandages off, expose it, face it head on, and take whatever comes with it. So don't ease it off. Release that energy that remains. Let it go. But if you do that, remember, courage. You must have a level of self-love as well. You must love yourself enough to be open. You must love yourself enough to be vulnerable. You must trust yourself to do the work. You must be willing, intentional, and have a desire to heal. This all takes courage. And the root and etymology of the word courage is love. Once we love ourselves enough to heal and break through those barriers, we can now use that love as the foundation to rebuild. For each thing you identify that needs to be dealt with, where you put a Band-Aid on, you're going to need to rip it off physically and mentally. You're going to need to rip off the binding, the bandage, and the Band-Aids you've put on. So, we're about to get ready to release the bandages. But we're going to do it with love. So whenever you're ready, with each word I give to you, you go ahead and release your bandages. Because I love myself enough to release you from my life. I love myself enough to no longer give you space in my mind, or in my body, or in my spirit. I love myself enough to take back my power. I love myself enough to be free. I love myself enough to no longer relive trauma. I love myself enough to no longer sit in pain. I love myself enough to acknowledge my self-worth. I love myself enough not to struggle. I love myself enough to be abundant. I love myself enough to be prosperous. I love myself enough to be loved. I love myself enough not to hate. I love myself enough to acknowledge the truth. I love myself enough to recognize that I am worthy of love and of happiness. I love myself enough to be my true and authentic self. I love myself enough not to settle. I love myself enough not to inflict violence upon myself. I love myself enough to speak up for myself and speak my truth. I love myself enough to live with intention and with purpose. I love myself enough to have an expectancy of good. I love myself enough not to badmouth my dreams. I love myself enough to release those who abuse or take advantage of me. I love myself enough to recognize those who truly want the best for me. I love myself enough to release limiting beliefs and negative thoughts and emotions. I love myself enough to get rid of those negative habit patterns. I love myself enough to do a new thing. I just love myself. I love every part of me. I love my mind. I love my heart. I love my body. I love my thoughts. I love my feelings. I love my experiences. I love who I am. I love the way I show up in this world. I love me. I love my connection to all there is. I love my alignment with the divine source. I love my oneness. I love that I'm an heir to the kingdom. I love that I now know who I am. I love that I'm here. I love that I'm growing. I love that I'm being. I love that I'm experiencing. I love that I feel lighter. I love that I feel freer. I love that I'm smarter. I love that I have more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding. I love my courage, my joy, my happiness, and my bliss. I love being. Let's take a deep breath in and release. Let's take another deep breath in and release. And one last one. Give me a big one, a freeing one. Feel it all the way down to your toes. Expand that diaphragm. And slowly release.
There is an old Negro spiritual that is called the Balm of Gilead. And there are two verses in this song, and it says, there is a balm in Gilead. You didn't think I was going to sing it, did you? There's a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I feel discouraged and deep my heart's in pain. But then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. There is a balm in Gilead. There is a healing balm. There's a healing balm that is within you. But today, we have prepared a special healing balm of aromatic oils for you today. Look in your bag. You're going to find a little bottle. Pull that bottle out. The balm that we prepared to you has the oils of myrrh, sandalwood, orange blossom, clary sage, and lang lang. I didn't tell you to do that yet. Shake it up a little bit. This healing balm is symbolic of the calming, soothing power that comes when your wounds are healed. What I want you to do is to open it up first and smell it. Just sniff the aroma of it, because that alone has healing power. And then I want you to take some of it and put it on your hands and rub your hands together. Put it all over your hands. You can put it on your head, your neck. Just put it on your hands. That's where you're comfortable doing it. And I want you to just take a moment and breathe in that fragrance and aroma of those healing oils, of this healing balm, and allow it to heal your mind, your body, and your spirit. because this healing balm will indeed shift the atmosphere. It will shift your consciousness. It will move your energy and vibration, because those healing oils will do their perfect work in and through you when you allow them. It will shift that atmosphere. It will shift your consciousness. It will induce changes in your life. It will give you the courage and the strength and the power to continue to break through and heal any boundaries and barriers that are left over. But I pray that you have released a whole lot of stuff that no longer serves you. So as you breathe in this fragrance of these powerful healing oils, feel it moving throughout your body. Feel them doing their perfect work. Because remember, these oils have healing power. You did your work to shift the atmosphere, to shift your consciousness, to push through and make change in every area of your life. And now that you have broken through those barriers, you should begin to see some changes happening in your life. Stuff moving out of your way, dropping away, people leaving. Of the constraints of the band-aids, the bandages, and the barriers. Because you are now grounding yourself in a foundation of truth. You're reinforcing your foundation of truth. You're rebuilding that foundation where you need to. Because you've broken through your barriers and you're now free to ground yourself and build that foundation of truth. And so what I want to do now is to ground you and reinforce your foundation of truth with a spiritual mind treatment. There is a quote by Andy Puddicombe which says, "We can't always change what's happening around us, but we can change what happens within us." And so that's what I want this spiritual mind treatment to do for you now. And so as I speak these words, I will use the word I. But I need you to understand there is only one I. The I that is all. It is in all. There is no you or me or we. There is only the great I am. And it is the same for each of us. That I am, that I am. And so take a deep breath and close your outer eyes and accept this mind treatment as truth, grounding you in that truth. I know that there is only one presence and power, one mind, and that is God, Spirit, Source, infinite intelligence, divine mind. That mind is all that there is. And I am one with that presence, that power, and that mind. I am aware that divine expression moves in, through, and as all of life. I acknowledge its expression in me and in every person in this room and under the sound of my voice. And I speak this treatment and embrace this truth as the absolute truth, as the I am, as the oneness that is. I walk through life surrounded by the loving, barrier-breaking light of spirit and absolute truth. Any fear that may come into my heart, my mind, or consciousness, it dwindles into the nothingness from which it came. I know that everything is well and in divine order in every area of my life. I experience, and every experience that I encounter on this journey called life is anchored in ease and grace. There's nothing that can withhold the free flow and fulfillment of my good from me. I experience the fulfillment of my God and my good right here and right now. I break all barriers, whether conscious or unconscious. I have the power, the strength, the courage, the confidence, and the ability to do all that needs to be done by me. I am maintained, sustained, and animated by spirit. My life is God's life, and God's life is my life, for the Father and I are one. I'm grateful for the ability to connect with this foundation of truth and to remember that spirit is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, and omniactive. And there is no place that I can dwell where God, spirit, love, peace, joy, abundance, creativity, wholeness, and health does not exist. Within me, around me, above me, behind me, underneath me, before me, and as me. I ground myself in this deep well of gratitude and release this word into the infinite law, knowing that it returns complete and fulfilled. I speak this word. I know this word. And I release this word. And together we say, and so it is. Ooh. And so you've done your work, which has really culminated everything that we started on January 1st. And so that means that I want to go back to what you learned that first day, which is our 2024 barrier breaking affirmation, because that affirmation speaks to the truth of who you are and helps to ground you in this healing journey. So I want you to repeat it together 3 times. But I first want you to take a deep breath. And after you've said it twice, on that 3rd time, I want you to breathe deeply again, then repeat it. So take a deep breath and release it. And let's repeat our barrier-breaking affirmation together. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Take a breath. Accept it. It is the truth of who you are. It is the foundation of who you are. It is how you move through this experience. It is what gives you the courage, the strength, and the confidence to do what you need to do. Because it is the truth. Let's repeat it together one last time. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me.
All right, guys. How are we feeling? Y'all had some energy moving in this house today, I tell you. So we just have a few announcements and things for us to go through. First thing, guys, is our opportunity to participate in the gift of circulation. So you can use Tidely. You can text this number, 470-243-2191. You'll get a text reply with a link to create your account. You can make your gift whenever you'd like. Cash App, right? That's the way most of us do a lot of our stuff. So that's another option for you. And our Cash App handle is $LT365. And you can also become a sustaining member with Living Truth 365 by using Zelle. You could set up Living Truth 365 as a payee using our email address, livingtruth365@gmail.com. Create a payment marked with repeating payment. You can contact your bank for any details. So I'll give you all just a moment. When you all are ready. If you need an envelope, let me know and we'll get an envelope. Jada, if you can get an envelope. Thank you. You feel that energy?
Sure do. When we get to this slide about sign up was
Just look up to me when y'all are ready. I'm just enjoying this energy y'all done brought here for me. God is my source. Let it go. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming. All right. Let's go ahead and do our gift of circulation affirmation. Let's repeat that together 3 times. There is no lack or limitation. There's only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow and I am one with it. Again, there is no lack or limitation. There's only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow and I am one with it. Let me hear it, guys. There is no lack or limitation. Yes, there is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow and I am one with it. And 3 times to seal the deal. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. And so it is. All right, all right.
That was a barrier-breaking wall through to their prosperity.
What? Woo! All righty. So guys, Moments in Meditation is back. It's back. We had a wonderful session this past Thursday, so make sure that you put it on your calendar. We are back in action every Thursday at 7 p.m. via Zoom. If you do not have the link, let one of the ministers know. We'll make sure you get it. It's a wonderful time for us to explore the peace, the power, and the presence within in a group setting. It just amplifies the experience. So join us if you can. We have the Nora Foundation, which is from Dr. Rocco Errico. He has his Aramaic School of Light, which is the second Saturday of each month from 1 to 3 Eastern Time, and it's $30 per class. And then he also has his online classes every Wednesday evening from 7 to 8, and that's with a love offering. If you need more information or have questions, you can reach him at norafoundation@mail.com, not Gmail, at mail.com. Guys, we have our Friday breakthrough calls every Friday that we can catch up with one another, support one another, uplift one another as we continue to break through our barriers for this year. It's only about 15 minutes, so make sure that you join us for that call. Truth Checkers is still on hiatus. We will let you know when we are ready to come on back. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy nature. Go out and enjoy nature, okay? All right, guys. So our barrier breaking event is on October 27th. Help End Hunger. We will be at the Atlanta Community Food Bank on that Sunday. No one will be here. We will be at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. So what I want you all to do now is go to this link and go ahead and sign up. Go on and do right now. Don't even waste time. Come on. Y'all know y'all want to do it. Let's go. Don't even waste time. Break that barrier. Go ahead and sign up as we give, right? We're being a conduit of healing, right? For those who have food insecurities, we are supporting. So please go ahead and sign up now to participate. All righty. 8:30 to 11, right in Atlanta. Okay? We're not going to be here. We're going to be there. So join us. Let's do our part. Okay. All right, guys. Make sure before I move forward, see some people are taking pictures. What have you. You got it? Okay. All right, guys. Moving forward. Friendsgiving. Living Truth 365 is having Friendsgiving on Sunday, November 3rd. It's going to be a wonderful Sunday. It is after our wonderful Reverend Jada Harris will be bringing forth the key for that month of November, because this is the first Sunday. And right after that, we're going to be having Friendsgiving. So there is a sign-up genius that went out. Right? We need you guys to make sure that you sign up to participate. It is going to be a Tapa-style finger food potluck, right? So you can sign up for what you want to bring. We don't want you to bring a whole pan full of stuff. We want you to bring some finger food, Tapa-style stuff for about 20 people. Everybody brings, we'll have enough for all who want to come and join us. But here's the caveat. Whatever you choose to bring, it needs to be something you could tell us a story about. Maybe a favorite food or something from childhood, a recipe that mama, grandmama, cousin, auntie gave you. Who knows? Or, you know, the first time you tasted it, and it's now become your favorite food. We want you to bring the story and tell us all about it. Okay? So go to the Sign Up Genius. We have the categories of food that we're looking for. You all don't have to buy drinks. We got the drinks covered. We got the drinks covered. So just, you know, whatever it is you want to bring, it's going to be a wonderful time for us to come together and be thankful with one another. Okay? Guys, it's what, 30 days? 30 days. 30 days, 30 days. But please make sure that you go to My Voters page for Georgia and check and make sure that you are registered to vote. Make sure you weren't purged from the voter rolls. Make sure that you know where you're supposed to go. And once you do that and you make sure you're registered, then make your plan. Make a plan for how you're going to get there, when you're going to get there, who you're going to go with, who you're going to drag with you, whatever it is. Do that. This is an important time for us, an important election. Early voting starts on October 15th. Early voting ends on November 1st. I encourage you to go vote early if you can. All right, go ahead and vote early.
Just a word about that. If you have a family member who may be in the military or is out of town, is trying to vote, tell them that they must check and make sure that they are properly registered.
Yes.
There are things going on where people are challenging people's right to vote, and you may be unaware that you have been challenged and your vote will not count.
Yeah.
So it's real, people.
It is.
Real.
Yeah, you need to try, if you're here, go to vote early so that if you run into a problem, that you have the ability to be able to get it straightened out before election day.
Yes. Okay. So make sure if you, yes, Marie? Yes.
It delays your vote.
Yes.
And if you encounter the fact that you do go to the wrong location, please go before 5 o'clock.
Yes.
So that you can get to the right location.
Yes.
Because it's becoming a very interesting situation. So please go to your, and it has changed. A lot of polling places have changed.
Yes.
So find your polling place.
Definitely.
If you go to the website, if you're in Georgia, and go to the website that's on the screen, it will tell you where you are supposed to go.
Yeah. And there's one of these for every state on My Voters page, so whatever state you're in. But just to piggyback on what Marie said, you know, they changed the rules, right? So if you arrive to a polling place before 5 and it's not yours, you cannot vote there. You cannot. It's against the law. You cannot vote there. They cannot allow you to vote there if you get there before 5 o'clock. So if it's 4:55 and it's not your polling location, you cannot vote there at all. Not even provisional.
It's not the place where you vote early.
Right.
Right. Be clear about where you vote early.
Okay. So make sure you know that. And it's best, guys, I know you can do provisional voting. They have that. But that doesn't always work. They don't always. More than half of them get rejected, and the majority of them, unfortunately, are people of color.
And
right.
bring your ID.
So yes, bring your ID and make sure you vote, and vote early if you can, or get to the polls early if you can, so you don't have to worry. You know where you need to go. Yes, ma'am.
Because when you do the advance voting, it's counted by machine, and on the day of voting, November 5th, it's hand counted. That's a big change, so just please be aware of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
do it as early as possible.
All righty. Thank you all for the additions, what we needed to know. Vote. Okay. Guys, get your Reppin' t-shirt. We are going, because I saw you all signed up, right? So you all are going to Atlanta Community Food Bank. I'm looking at every single one of y'all. Every last one of y'all. Go ahead on to KifaniStudios@etsy.com and get you a Living Truth 365 t-shirts. Whether it's a repping t-shirt or it's something from the Breaking Barrier merch, we're all going to be wearing and repping Living Truth 365 when we go out into the community. So go and buy a shirt. Okay, it doesn't matter which one. Make sure you have a shirt to wear when we go out and do that. And remember, all proceeds go to Living Truth 365 so that we can put on programs like this. Go ahead and get you all the band-aids you need. You know, we need that's what it's for, okay? So do that. And a reminder for everyone as well that Living Truth 365, we have our website, and a lot of the information we're talking about here is there for you to check out, and anything else, and to reach out to us if you need. And, you know, we'd love for you guys to go ahead and send that to a friend so they can see what's going on, so they come out to Living Truth 365, they can learn more about us, and we can get more people in the doors, okay? Definitely. All righty. And that's pretty much it. We've already done. It wasn't on the scum side. I forgot about that. Yes. Did you all get a Survey Monkey? Okay. Living Truth 365, the ministers have sent out a Survey Monkey. We want to know what you think. We are ready to continue to do what we need to do for Living Truth 365 and for our community, but we need to know what's working, what's not working, what you want, what you don't want. So we sent out a survey. Please fill out the survey and return it. It's going to help us to make sure that we're able to provide you with this and other wonderful programs for you guys, for our experiences, and for us to live life more abundantly every day in every way. Okay? All righty. So with that being said, one more time with the Breaking Barrier affirmation. It doesn't hurt. Come on. Let's stand up, everybody. Repeat it together 3 times. Say it with your chest. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Ooh, that sounds good. Give it to me again. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Hold on one second. Look at what you're reading and make sure you mean it. Make sure you know it. Again, say it with your chest. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. And so it is. Thank you all.
Thank you, God.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right.